the channel. So today we're going over my Ava deck profile. So Ava itself is still a very solid deck. It can compete against all of the top tier decks, Lulwide and Shiranui, as well as the other set 13 decks as well, such as Youthberg. With that out of the way, let's get into the deck profile. Starter, then we also do have the Grade 1, the Grade 2. Both essentially have the same effect, search for a research order and add to your hand. Grade 3, which is the Fountain of Knowledge Ava. So this Grade 3 has two skills. The first ability on the Vanguard circle, you can counterblast 1. Look at the top card of your deck, equal the number of research orders in your order zone. Choose one card from them, add it to your hand, and then put the rest on your bottom deck in any order, and it gets plus 50k power. And then the second ability is that when it attacks, you can counterblast 1 and soul blast 1, then search your deck or hand for an obfuscate called the Vanguard circle, and if you did search your deck, shuffle your deck. The idea of this deck is we want to get to 3 research orders as soon as possible. We'll go over the first research order that we'd run in the deck, which is the world is a research lab, which you run at 4 copies. First skill being that when it's placed, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck and then choose up to 1 card from a called the Vanguard circle and then shuffle your deck. Then for its second ability, which is definitely very handy, rest itself on soul plus 1 and choose 2 other research orders from your order zone and rest them, and then choose one of your glitter units to get plus 5k power. So overall, very nice research order. Next, we do have 4 copies of the evolution of Ava, which is the Poison and Paradise Ava. The first skill being that when she's placed over the Fountain of Knowledge Ava, you can look for a research order added to your hand, turn it right. And then for its second ability is that when it attacks, bind a Fountain of Knowledge Ava from your soul, and then choose an obfuscate from your hand, drop, or deck, and call it the Vanguard circle. The new Ava definitely helps a lot more compared to the older Ava, as now you can call obfuscates on the drop. Very solid, and the fact that she also does give herself an obfuscate in extra increments of 5k. The new Ava is a very strong card. So as a research orders, every time we write it, 4 copies of the Grade 3 obfuscate. When it attacks, if you have a research order, it gets 5k. If you have 3 research orders, it gets 10k instead of 5. Second ability is that when it's called by a card effect, get a crit. And then lastly, it has the constant skill, if you have a research order in the order zone, it does get plus 10k shield intercept. So overall, Ava is very tanky in that regard, because it can search essentially for a 10k shield. We can use both aggressively and then defensively because of how the card itself works. Grade 2s. We do have 4 of the Grade 2 obfuscate. It helps with what I feel like the deck was lacking, board removal. The first skill being that if you have 3 research orders, it gets plus 5k shield and 5k power. Second skill is that when it's called by an ability of your card, it has the ability to attack the front row when it attacks. So overall, the Grade 2 obfuscate is very solid. Next for the Grade 2s, we do run 3 copies of Combat Rusher. The first ability being that when it attacks a Grade 3 or greater unit, if you have 2 cards in your order zone, it gets plus 10k power. Second ability is that when we play a set order, you can counterblast 1 and call it the Vanguard circle. It's really strong, again, because Ava can search it. 3 copies of the Cycle Grade 2, which is Habitable Zone. First skill being that when it is discarded during the ride phase, you can soul blast 1, put this card on the bottom of the deck, and then draw 1. Second ability is that if you have Persona Rhythm Stone, when it's placed, you can counterblast 1, search your deck for a set order, add to hand, and then you can play an additional set order this turn. Next time you play a set order, the cost of that set order becomes free. This is very strong, as we do run 1 specific set order in this deck, which is the Refablishment Dock. First skill, when it's placed in the order zone, you can draw a card. Second skill in the order zone, continuous, all of the Grade 2 regards get boost. Now going into the Grade 1s. So we'll start off with the other research order that we ran on the deck, henceforth research order. And this is one of the reasons why Ava is so good. First skill is that all your regards of obfuscate in their card name cannot be retired by your opponent's card effect. Our obfuscates will be protected, which is really strong. Going into Divine, we have Baga, retires both front rows. Second skill, to the order zone, if you have 4 or more research orders, you can put this card from your order zone into your soul, countercharge 1, add obfuscate from your drop to hand. Having a way to recuperate those resources is really strong. This Grade 1 is absolutely cracked. For the next Grade 1 that we do run, we'd run 3 of the Dragon Tree Grade 1s. Run 3 of these cards specifically is because of the second skill. When a set order is placed in the order zone, you can counterblast 1 and look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You can choose 1 card from among them and call it to Vanguard circle in front of the Dragon Tree Grade 1. If we look at top 5 from our research order and we find an obfuscate, we can call it the Vanguard circle, and that obfuscate now gains the effect if we use the Grade 1 Void. Now, even if we don't find the obfuscate from the Grade 1, it's fine. The more we deck thin, the higher chances we are of hitting triggers. It will be cut once we get the promo out. Next, for the Grade 1s, we do have 4 PGs, 3 of them being the normal Sentinels, the Elementary Centitude. For the trigger lineup, a crits, 3 fronts, We don't really need to draw. Our hand is always tanky anyway. Lastly, we do have the 1 OT. Personally, I would run the Vanguard OT. I just don't have one at the moment. Lastly, we do have 4 heals, with them being vanilla heals. And then I have opted to run 1 effect heal, only for the fact that, again, because Shirani is so prevalent, there are some games where their reguards get quite big. They're dominating on their Mukuro tones. They're getting usually free attacks. Because they're getting free dominated attacks, those reguards are getting very beefy. That means we need extra shield power to guard that. But by running one of the heals, this heal specifically, that also acts as one card guard, which is really strong. That is pretty much the deck profile. Honestly, if you're still playing Ava to this day, honestly, just still worth the investment. It's still really strong against the Stride decks, as long as you know what you're doing. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and then while you're down there, why not subscribe and hit the notification bell so that when you upload another video, you will be notified. Thanks for watching.